It's me, and today we re-breaking down why Israel's raid in Lebanon triggered Hezbollah's largest rocket salvo in 17 years. If you're new to the channel, subscribe right now to be part of our growing community of global citizens who depend on independent journalism like ours. Let's start at the outset of the current crisis. On Thursday evening, July, Israeli fighter jets carried out an airstrike against a Hezbollah command post situated close to the village of Deir Amr in southern Lebanon. The stated goal was to eliminate 2 Hezbollah operatives involved in planning cross-border attacks. Those killed in the strike included Talal, Hamdan, and Yasser al-Sayed. The former was a senior member of Hezbollah's elite external security unit responsible for plotting attacks abroad and assassinating Israeli targets. The latter was a veteran commander known for overseeing weapons development and coordinating attacks along the Israel-Lebanon border. Now, let's look at the fallout. Within hours of the airstrike, Hezbollah launched a massive rocket barrage into northern Israel. More than 200 projectiles were fired during the peak of the assault. That's more than 5 times the volume of missiles fired by Hamas during their October 7th surprise attack. But unlike the October assault, which relied on infiltrating Israel via tunnels, this attack came exclusively from Lebanon. While most rockets were shot down by Israel's Iron Dome missile defense system, several did breach air defenses and land inside Israeli territory. Although there were no fatalities, 2 people sustained light injuries while rushing to bomb shelters. Additionally, multiple direct hits were recorded on or around the Israeli communities of Savian, Zurit, Sassa, and Metula. Property damage was also extensive in and around the Israeli communities of Yavne, Upper Galilee, and the Golan Heights. Notably, some of these regions are relatively close to the Syrian border, raising concerns about potential spillover effects from the ongoing conflict between Israel and Iran-backed militias in Syria. And here's the larger context. This attack was not a spontaneous outburst. It was carefully planned and coordinated. Hezbollah has now demonstrated control over the airspace of southern Lebanon, enabling them to fire long-range ballistic missiles and bypass Israeli defenses. The timing is also highly significant. Hezbollah chose to act when Israel is preoccupied with internal political turmoil and ongoing operations in Gaza and the West Bank. This serves to remind Israel that despite current distractions, threats persist along all borders. But why now? What provoked Hezbollah to launch their largest rocket attack since the 2006 war? Let's delve deeper. The assassination attempt. On June 28, Israel reportedly thwarted a Hezbollah plot to assassinate Israeli and Jewish targets on the streets of Cyprus. This foiled attack involved 2 Hezbollah operatives who entered Cyprus via land, possessing forged documents. Their mission was to identify and monitor Israeli and Jewish interests before launching their assault. But Cypriot authorities apprehended the pair and uncovered their plot. In response, Israel deported to Hezbollah spies from Cyprus, escalating tensions between Hezbollah and the interim Israeli government led by Yair Lapid. Then came the drone strike. On July 9, a Hezbollah reconnaissance drone infiltrated into Israeli airspace above the northern Israeli town of Kiryat Shmona. While the drone posed no imminent threat, it represented a dangerous precedent. This marked the first documented case of Hezbollah operating an unmanned aerial vehicle over Israeli territory. This was seen as a provocative move, testing Israel's response capabilities and underscoring Hezbollah's expanding arsenal of attack drones. Then the arrest. On July 11, Israel arrested 2 Arab Israeli civilians suspected of spying for Hezbollah in northern Israel. These individuals, Said al-Harbawi and Khalil al-Ayu, were accused of gathering intelligence for Hezbollah related to Israeli military positions and infrastructure. Their apprehension highlighted the evolving threat landscape in Israel, showcasing Hezbollah's attempts to cultivate local assets within Arab Israeli communities. And then finally, the strike. On July 12, Israel conducted an airstrike against a Hezbollah surveillance and operations base near Tyre in southern Lebanon. The strike eliminated 2 senior Hezbollah field commanders, Talal Hamdan and Yasser al-Sayed. We discussed the aftermath of the strike earlier in the episode. So what provoked Hezbollah to take such drastic action? Here are 3 key factors. First, revenge. Hezbollah's rocket attack was primarily a response to the elimination of 2 of its senior commanders. Senior Hezbollah officials had vowed revenge following the July strike, signaling that further escalation was imminent. This creates a cycle of retaliation and counter-retaliation, driving the conflict toward further intensification unless outside actors intervene to halt the cycle of violence. Second, deterrence. Hezbollah aims to deter future Israeli strikes against their assets and personnel operating in Lebanon and Syria. By demonstrating their formidable offensive capabilities, Hezbollah hopes to discourage Israel from further targeted killings on their soil. However, this strategy could backfire if Israel perceives Hezbollah's actions as a form of weakness or overconfidence. Third, internal politics. Hezbollah may be leveraging the current domestic instability in Israel to maximize the impact of their rocket attack. By acting at a time when Israel is internally divided and politically distracted, Hezbollah seeks to weaken Israel's capacity to respond effectively, potentially amplifying any perceived successes and minimizing their own losses. Looking forward, this exchange highlights a worrying trend. Even limited Israeli strikes can provoke major escalations by Hezbollah. The precarious situation in southern Lebanon raises concerns about the potential for a broader regional conflict. Israel faces a challenging dilemma. On one hand, they need to defend their national security and prevent Hezbollah from accumulating more sophisticated weaponry. On the other hand, they must avoid triggering a full-scale war in the north that could divert resources away from the ongoing conflict in Gaza. The international community also has a crucial role to play. Calls for restraint and de-escalation by regional and international actors are essential to prevent the situation from spiraling into a larger conflict. The evolving threat posed by Hezbollah and the fragility of the regional balance underscore the need for continuous vigilance and proactive measures to ensure stability in the Middle East. In an interview with CNN, former Israeli ambassador to the United Nations, Dorgold, emphasized the gravity of the situation, stating, "This is a very serious event. We have not seen anything like this since the Second Lebanon War of 2006. But the impact of this exchange goes beyond immediate regional implications. It challenges existing assumptions about the nature and scope of Hezbollah's capabilities. Traditionally viewed as a predominantly Shia Islamist political party with a paramilitary wing, Hezbollah is now emerging as a sophisticated, multi-pronged threat actor. Their arsenal includes a substantial force of trained fighters, a large inventory of advanced weaponry, and an array of cyber and psychological warfare capabilities. This shift poses a complex challenge for policymakers worldwide who must reassess traditional characterizations of Hezbollah and its potential threat to regional and global security. Meanwhile, the volatile situation in Lebanon adds another layer of complexity. The country's ongoing economic and political crisis has exacerbated social tensions and increased the potential for instability along the Israel-Lebanon border. Hezbollah's actions heighten concerns about the group's intentions regarding Israel's newly inaugurated government and whether this assault could be a harbinger of more significant confrontations in the near future. Here's what you can do. First, support our work. Independent journalism like ours relies on your support. Every like, comment, and share helps spread our mission to bring you the truth behind the headlines. Second, join the conversation. Share your insights on today's episode in the comments section below. Your perspective matters, and together we can deepen our understanding of global politics. As we conclude today's episode, the immediate future holds uncertainty. Will this incident escalate into a broader regional conflict, or will it serve as a catalyst for renewed diplomatic efforts? Only time will tell. But one thing is clear, the Middle East remains a tinderbox, and the smallest spark can ignite a wildfire. Thanks for joining us today. Stay curious, stay critical, and stay tuned for more from Armor Pulse.